Hi, this is Braschek recording this on February 13th, 2022. And last night I heard an interesting conversation. It was good. It was by a Detroit television station, and they had a bunch of different people on talking about the issue of the bridge between Detroit and Windsor being closed. And they had all parties involved, except, of course, the mayor who couldn't be bothered to be on the call. And the issue was raised, look what this is doing to the auto workers in Detroit. And indeed, it is not a good thing to be laid off from your work. But number one, the auto industry has savagely, permanently laid off millions of auto workers in Michigan and elsewhere in the United States. So these crocodile tears on behalf of the auto industry are kind of interesting. Two, has anybody surveyed auto workers? Are they happy with their children and grandchildren being forced to receive an experimental vaccine? Or it's really is an injection. It's an injection of material that we don't even know what's in it because the makers are not required to disclose what's in it. That's what's going on here. So there may be auto workers that are happy with it. There may be auto workers that are not. But it's a state, it shows the state of affairs of the so-called news media and journalist class that nobody, either mainstream media or alternative media, has bothered to ask the auto workers how they feel about it. Instead, we're going to hear how they feel from some tool of the auto industry. I'd like to give some historical perspective here. It's a story that is strangely not well known. It should be one of the most important stories kids are taught in school, but it sure ain't happening here unless you're a school child in Manchester, England. What am I talking about? It's a little known fact that about 75% of all the cotton grown by enslaved people in the United States was sent to the mills in Manchester, where an equally abused group of people was working in the mills there. So basically the cotton went from out the port of New Orleans to Liverpool and then up the canals to Manchester. During the Civil War, the Union took New Orleans and basically blockaded all cotton exports from the South. So there was what was called a cotton famine in Manchester, and people suffered tremendously in ways that modern day people cannot even imagine. These were folks that were already on the edge, and when they lost their jobs, they starved. And let me tell you what these courageous people did in the face of starvation. They got together and they had a union meeting, and they took a vote. And despite the fact that they were starving, they sent a message, a resolution, to Lincoln and the United States of America saying, keep going. We're against slavery. Okay? And Lincoln actually wrote them back a letter, and there's even a statue of Lincoln in Manchester about this. These families who were starving, we're not talking about people that lost a couple of shifts. We're talking about people who were starving, decided that it was more important to stop slavery than their personal comfort or even survival. Right? So everybody that's in a rush to sing the blues about the auto industry losing some profits this year, get a freaking clue. And I hope that people will share this somehow with the leadership of the Canadian truckers, and that this story resonate everywhere about what the mill workers in Manchester did during the Civil War. And you know, as people, as the sick, pathetic, perverse news media in the United States does everything it can to gin up dissension and division between black people and white people in the United States, remember this history has nothing to do with color, has nothing to do with race. It has to do with evil people doing evil to others. And those who are fighting back don't look at anybody's skin color. It's irrelevant. So that's our real history. And you know, if I have a frustration today, it's that I doubt this story is going to make it to Canada. I doubt it's going to make it to any of the alternative news media. I doubt it's going to go anywhere, but at least you know it. And you can Google this story. It's one of the most amazing stories of solidarity ever told. And it's never talked about. I wouldn't have known it if I hadn't been in Manchester and seen the statue of Lincoln and thought, what the heck is that doing here? And my friend who lives there explained it to me. And I was floored. How did I not know this story? Why isn't this story taught to every child in school? This is what real human beings are all about. Anyway, if anybody can do anything to get this into the right hands, please do. I'm frustrated. You guys have heard me for the last 2 years, right? We got to hear about poor Joe Rogan and how his $100 million paycheck might be in jeopardy. Who cares, right? But meanwhile, the real news, the real stuff isn't getting anywhere. But so anyway, do what you can.
What's up, everybody? This is Michael Kane with Teachers for Choice. Ottawa has just announced a state of emergency 1 or 2 days ago because of the Canadian truckers who are peacefully fighting for their God-given fundamental rights. So we're calling a state of emergency across the world to get to the Canadian consulates. We need massive protests, and as usually, New York City is going to kick it off. So this Tuesday, February 15th, you need to get to the Canadian consulate on Lexington Avenue. It's posted on my Instagram. It's up on teachersforchoice.org. Just click on the link in my bio. It'll take you right to all the info. We need people there. The violence against the truckers and the Canadian people might be coming as early as Monday. So this is emergency. We're doing this right away. Tuesday, we're getting to the consulate. Spread the word. Get down there at 12 noon. I'm going to be there for sure, speaking out, educating people on just how draconian and insane it is in Canada. There are no vaccine cards in Canada. There can't be a rip it up. You have to have the QR code. You have to have it in your phone. There are entire industries that have been shut down for 2 years just starting to open. And why are they opening? Because the truckers are causing and forcing the politics to change peacefully. It's amazing. There has never been a protest bigger or more important for fundamental rights and especially for medical freedom than these God-blessed, amazing truckers and their supporters. If they fall, we all fall. And we need to stand for them. And we need to tell the Canadian government no violence. We need to tell the Canadian government we stand with the people. We need to tell the Canadian government we, the people, have the power. So come out on Tuesday, February 15th, Canadian Consulate, Manhattan, on Lexington at 12 noon. All information is on my Instagram and on teachersforchoice.org.